He's the one who's run the campaign insulting people, demeaning women, degrading people with disabilities, talking about keeping Muslims out of the country. He's the one who's been running that kind of very negative, aggressive, bullying campaign.
I don't know who's the one been degrading women all her life. We'll find out, I guess. Guess who's joining us, ladies and gentlemen? Andrea Tantaros, Fox News political analyst, host of Outnumbered on the Fox News channel, and author of a great new book. You're going to buy it just for the cover. I know it. Tied Up in Knots, How Getting What We Wanted Made Women Miserable. So good to see you.
Great to be here,
all right,
Steve.
so
Thanks
I got to ask you the question. So many people, so many of your fans miss you on Fox. How long have you been off there now?
I think it's been a week.
And so what's going on?
I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I'm so happy to hear that the fans miss me, and thank you for the support.
Well, you must know that more than me.
I do. They're very upset. They're very, very upset.
So we expect you back soon?
I can't talk about it. I'm not really allowed to weigh in.
Fair enough. No,
but I'm out promoting the book, and so that's why I'm here.
Yes, no, absolutely. So I want you to weigh in on this. We now know it's good. It's Trump and Hillary, unless Hillary doesn't get the nomination somehow. Trump's in. Could she play this woman card?
I will tie it in to Tied Up in Knots, Steve.
Yes.
Okay, so why did Trump rise when you look at who's supporting him? It's the disaffected male vote. The men who don't feel like the establishment speaks for them, the men whose jobs have been sent to China or whose jobs are taken by illegals, right? They feel like they have a voice because economically they've been dismissed and discarded. Personally, they also feel that way too. The wussification of America, right? The demeaning of men in commercials and TV. Where did that come from? Came from women like Hillary Clinton and her group that told women, especially my generation,
feminists,
that you don't need men. Remember that big message? So not only did Hillary and her crew say you don't need men, she said that women need to act like men. You need to espouse the characteristics of men, right? And be these lady bros, which I talk about in the book. I think, Steve, there's a real opportunity for Trump to ding Hillary, not just on playing the woman card, but you heard her yesterday say, I think I'm gonna need to bring Bill out on the campaign trail. Okay, so that's an interesting message. Now she needs a man. Hillary always said she didn't need a man. Now she needs her husband. Also, I think something really important has happened. Women have been told to shirk motherhood and raising kids, and guess who led the charge on that? Hillary Clinton, when she made fun of women who stay home and bake cookies. Trump should bring up that soundbite because something has happened, Steve.
I'm no Tammy Wynette standing by my man.
Exactly. And Madeleine Albright, when she came out and said there's a special place in hell, that didn't sit well with younger women, especially younger women who support Bernie Sanders. I think, Steve, that if Trump can galvanize these voters and even just make a dent and get these women who have stayed at home, these working mothers that feel like Hillary doesn't speak for them, not only can he erode some of her support, but I think he might be able to bring some female support his way, which Trump needs. You know,
you make such a great point in talking about women not needing a man, and everything is different. Everything is different, and I trace it back to the feminist movement. And not men are to blame for some things, but I just think it's a totally different world.
It's a totally different world. And this book takes a look at the culture in a way that no conservative author ever has. So I get into using the words of liberals who are really espousing traditional messages even though they're non-traditional messengers. It's different. I mean, a lot of conservatives have written books about how bad feminism is and they thrash feminism. That's not what I'm saying. I love feminism. I'm a direct beneficiary of it. But I point out where they went wrong by telling men that they're not needed and that women should act more like men. I'll give you an example. Sheryl Sandberg. She's a huge liberal. She wrote Lean In. Every woman bought Lean In. What is the one thing she told women if you want to lean in, you have to do? Pick the right man. That's a conservative message. She said, I couldn't be Sheryl Sandberg without my husband. Now, of course, the mainstream media said, oh, ignore that. That's a conservative message. Also, Steve Harvey. He's not a Republican, but he's out there saying, hey, ladies, if you tell us you got a job and a bank account and a guard dog, we don't know where we fit in. The same thing, I mean, I was just talking to Jenny McCarthy on her radio show. She's pretty much apolitical, but she said, Andrea, I'm just like you. I was trying to just do everything and have it all myself. And then I realized I like being the woman. I like empowering men to step up and have a place in my life.
Different.
They're different.
And we have
Equal
to
doesn't mean
that,
the same.
We have to embrace that. I want you to hear something that Mark Levin said yesterday after Cruz lost. He's a big Cruz backer. Here's what he said.
It's not the Fox News channel. It's the Fox channel and the Donald Trump super PAC. This is insanity. They may be laughing today. But they're going to be rubbing their own faces in their own feces, I'll tell you that, after this general election, because they have humiliated themselves.
Want to weigh in on that?
That's some pretty harsh rhetoric. You know, I think if you talk to people in the Republican Party, you could find voters that think, I mean, I get it every day. They'll say, how dare you criticize Cruz? You're in the tank for Trump. And then the Trump supporters say, how dare you criticize Donald Trump? What did you flip on us and go to Cruz?
Yep.
It's a really fine line. So I just think emotions are running high.
So he went overboard there?
I mean, I don't know. I happen to really like Mark Levin.
I do too. I've known him even before he was on radio.
And I'm not going to criticize Fox News.
Just thought you had
But everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah,
Everyone's happy, unhappy, and people at the end of the day, they hear what they want to hear.
Yes.
So unless you hear it from our mouths,
Right.
I wouldn't believe it.
All right. Tied up in knots. Andrea Tantaros, hopefully you'll be back on soon.
Thank you, Steve.
Good to see you. All right,
Appreciate
folks,
it.
we're taking your calls, more of your calls at 877 Newsmax. Don't go away.